Longtime Panther Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
On play action, Heineke.
And incomplete to open things up.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They go play action. Now Heineke.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game. Watching him try to take away that area of the field.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Play action now. Here's Heineke. Slings this deep from McLaurin.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
Fourth down, Heineke.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Nifty running by Barkley there on first down. He scoots forward for 7 yards, sets him up nicely, 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go now on 1st and goal.
Now Jones. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Throwing Jones. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
This Washington defense, they've stood tall the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal.
Barkley.
And Barkley did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll run for it with Barkley. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Giants' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side. And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up and negate the touchdown that was just given up.
And they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And the play fake, and now Heineke. He's got a man, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Heineke slings this deep from McLaurin. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Heineke. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call.
Heineke now.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing to start the drive, Jones.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Throw left side complete. That's James. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Looking to throw. Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Heineke on 3rd and 2. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Partner, I think this will want to ride very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That's good for 28 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain.
And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching the bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Throwing, Heineke. His throw complete right side to Bates, the tight end.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. On 1st and 10, Heineke.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Kayvon Thibodeaux, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack. And he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Straight ahead, Gibson.
They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
That makes no sense. You've got to understand your situations. You're in a goal-to-go situation, and instead you're dancing around, and instead of staying at least where you were, you end up losing yards for your team.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They're going to run the sweep. It's Samuel. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for them to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for them. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
Heineke with a 3rd and goal.
Got his tight end. That's complete.